Hello, welcome back to Steve's Retro Loft. Now, a slightly different video this week. I'm going to look at printing. Yeah, and why not? And also, I'll do a slight update for my user-definable graphics generator, because I foolishly said, and I believe in the last episode, I'm going to add an edit function. I'm not sure if I said it was easy or not. Turns out it's a bit trickier than I thought. I mean, it's not complete, but it was far from easy for me. Anyway, let's take a look at printing. So we can ignore the spectrum on the screen. I'll come back to that in a bit. We're going to look at printing, or not redacting, printing. One of the things I had is when I bought the Alphacom32 printers, I actually bought 3 of them from some guy on Facebook. £35 I think I paid. All 3 of the printers worked because I had some demonstration printers that worked, but none of them had power supplies. And I've mentioned this before previously in one of my older episodes. I got an AC power supply, and it was actually one that was used for Christmas lights. So it was like a 28-volt AC power supply, and it worked fine. Now I did wonder if I could just use a DC power supply, and that would just pass it through one half of the bridge rectifier on the power unit. But apparently, it uses the AC, I think, to generate the thermal side or something. Somebody cleverer than me explained how that works. So I've got the printer. I had 3 rolls of paper, 1 for each printer, and I could dip into the other ones and sort of grab a page out of or a roll of paper out of them. But I thought, oh, I might as well buy one. And there's a company called Till Roll King, and they sell them. And I bought a box of 20 of them, and these are my findings. Well, one of the first things I wanted to check was how good the thermal paper is with other heat sources. Now, this is a cup of tea, and there's the old print, the new print, and a couple of Tesco's and Sainsbury's receipts. And they all passed. And I think some of the thermal paper from the past used to sort of mark when you put another heat source on it. And these ones seem to be okay. So what's the quality like then? Well, as you can see, the print on the left-hand side is the new paper, and it's nice and sort of the contrasty, it's sort of nice and dark. And the old paper is not so clear. I mean, it's okay, it's readable, but it's a little bit sort of faded. Now, that might be because it's like 40-year-old paper. I really don't know how old the rolls of paper that came with that printer are, but they do feel a little bit different. The new rolls tend to sort of roll up a little bit, but typically you're not going to sort of be bothered by them too much like that. Most people, I think, tend to fold them up and stick them inside a book or whatever. Or in my case, I pin them onto the wall. Behind me, you might see if I cut back to the main screen. And there we go, there you go. There they are, just there behind my head. Make sure I get the right. There's a couple of printouts there, so I left them there. Now, the company I bought them from, Till Roll King, so £34 for a box of 20, and they're all okay. They're a little bit grubby on the outside. That's, I think, just thermal paper in general. Once you roll past the first effectively sheet, they're all good. This isn't a sponsored video or anything, and I paid £34, including delivery for the 20 rolls. I don't need 20 rolls of paper, and there's a fairly good chance I'll probably sell some of them on possibly Sinclair for Sale or Sinclair Retro Life Facebook groups. Maybe I don't know, maybe. 150, maybe £1.75 per roll is probably a sort of fair fair price for individual ones, plus post and packaging. I'm not that rich, but I don't think I'll need 20 rolls of paper for the time being, and I'm guessing these sort of things and this sort of thermal paper is used in plenty of other devices. And I get the feeling it's sort of thing that they can manufacture. It might be maybe they get a long roll of this sort of paper, and then they can just cut it into individual sections. I don't know. I've really never seen thermal paper being manufactured. Maybe we need a one of those factory programs that the BBC do so well to look at how you make rolls of paper. Anyway, I've gone off a little bit there. Let's let's head back towards the spectrum. Now this was my initial test for how to read the data. To get this far was a bit of a struggle. Now, if I go onto the main screen and just list, there's some nice graphics there. Just scroll through all that. I probably should have just gone straight to this. Around about 6,000 is the data line, and that's what I use to create the user definable graphics. It reads if it's in position, the first position on the left, which would be slightly opposite to the way the data is read. Then if it's a 1 there, then that value is 1 to 8, and then it reads them. It reads them as you go across. So if that position 1, effectively, it's position 7. Makes it all clear. If that position is a value of 1, then it adds 128 to that to a variable, and then again if it's 64, 32, and if they're all ones, then all that adds up to 255, and then obviously then there's a poke line to poke user. But yeah, that was easy, and then I sort of had to reverse it. And that was a little bit trickier than I thought. I don't quite know why I didn't think about it straight away, but I was assigning a value to each iteration of the for next loop, if it needed it or not for some reason. So if you see on the screen at the top there, 630, I'll just round there. Yeah, so there's a line. Let's see. Greater than or equals, or less than or equals 1, B, and B is the location of on the string, and then let the user string equals 0, and then what that was doing, let C equals C minus 1, and the value at that. So what I do, I start with a value of the actual of the graphic I'm editing. I know what the line value is because you can do a peak user. Is it user peak? Lookup of the user definable graphic, and then what that does, it comes up with an integer. So if it's on a solid white line like the demonstration you saw on this earlier, that's 255. Now the next line is, I can't remember what it was, but I think it's 129 because there's a line at one side and a line at the other. So effectively, there's just 2 bits of the 8 bits used, the first one and the last one, so that adds up to 129. What it was doing was going wrong badly because I was I've got the figure, so I know if the first digit I look up is greater than the value I peaked. In this case, it won't be. In case of both lines, it won't be, because the 255 is greater than 128. So what it does, then it adds 128. Or it should add, but what I tend to do is I minus it, and then what I do is I go along the line, and what it should do in theory, and this is how I think I worked it out in my head, was eventually the sort of program will work itself out, and then eventually come down to 1 or 0. But what I was doing, I was actually adding things on when I didn't need to add them on. So if it's a 0, I accidentally was adding it on as well. So it was going a bit crazy. And at one point I had a print user command in there, and then print user obviously seemed to be hitting a 0 somewhere, and then sort of crashing, which wasn't ideal. So if I go back to the various different versions, what I do, you can see on the program name at the top of the screen, this is 10E. Yeah, I went all the way up to, let's have a look, where did I go to? I went all the way up to M. So I think as M, I'll go M version 1 and see where I got it from. So this is basically the main, back to the main one now. So and it wasn't quite there. So if I didn't add it, I didn't add the functionality to alter the graphics straight away. Now what it was doing here, it was plotting fine. So eventually I got around all the issues and I worked out how to plot it, and so that it sort of works as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, it's not usable, or it's not in a usable state. So what I've then done, I think the final one I've worked on, because I haven't got around to completing it yet, is this. And there's some more tests in here now. So if I run this, yeah, as you can see on the user-definable graphics have got a bit crazy, so I think things have gone a bit bizarre. And because I'm saving it as a Z80 file, it's pretty much it's a snapshot. So it saves everything as is. Now the edit function is there. If I load A, what I do, I need to step through it because I put these sort of checks on the top of the screen so I know where to go. So it mostly works. It will be faster than this. Like once I take the sort of pause out, this will be automatic. So yeah, so that's the idea. Now, if I look at if I just try and overwrite A again, so if I assign it to, oops, need to get rid of all that, and then assign, and then assign it back to A. If you look at A on the screen at the moment, which is just there, so and see what happens when it goes there. See, it shifts it. So I've not quite got the maths right. It's putting it back in the wrong place. But yeah, it's almost there. And yeah, once it's all done, I'll stick it on the GitHub for you to have a look at. I mean, one of those things I did notice, one of the Spectrum pages I look at online, with a Reddit group as well. One of the guys there had already done their own user-definable graphics generator as well. It looks a hell of a lot better than mine. But yeah, as I said, this is just something for me to learn and try and improve my programming. So a bit of a strange episode, really. Printing paper and a user-definable graphics generator that doesn't quite work. Yeah, a bit of an odd one. And also, I put out a short video this week because when I'm recording this on the Saturday before the half term, yes, yeah, I thought I must just get something out short, just for people to watch if they want to enjoy and see how things are going on. Because I don't like leaving gaps in videos; it upsets the algorithm and the various time-space continuum of how Google works and YouTube. But anyway, if you like what I do and you like random people, random people, me rambling randomly on. Yes, if you like that, and you want some more, please like, comment, or subscribe, and click the bell icon so you get notified. So any more of this drivel heads your way. But until next time, I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.